My name's Chris Marshall. I farm here on the North Cornish coast in partnership with my brother and my father. Here on the farm we're milking around 220 cows, crossbreeds, 𝗵𝗲𝗱, Swedish Red and Holstein, so a three-way cross, averaging about 8,500 litres, 4.3% butter fat and 3.6% protein, and our milk is going to Arla. Here at 𝗵𝗲𝗱 we block calve our cows, a nice tight block, try and get most of them calved within 9 weeks. Our cows will be housed sort of mid-October. They'll come onto a full TMR ration, which will include maize, a bit of whole crop this year, grass silage, homegrown wheat, a bit of rape and soya blend, which we're still using at the moment. In the spring, we aim to get the cows out by mid-March. Depending on the amount of grass out in the field, we look to get the wagon turned off as soon as we can, go on to an all-grass diet, topped up with a bit of parlour cake. So we started thinking about going soya-free back in January of this year. That sort of came along with the Arla sustainability incentive. Also, we believe that cutting down on food miles, looking after the environment and making things more sustainable for the future, that is moving everything in the right direction, and that's what we're aiming for. So 𝗵𝗲𝗱 is our ForFarmers account manager. He comes in regularly to give us advice. When we first started discussing Soya-free, he talked to us about Footprint Soya-free cake and also blends that are available. We felt that the Footprint cake was the easiest place to start. Going soya-free was a concern to us. We were worried about drop in yield and having negative impacts on cow health. That's why we're trying to do it a little bit at a time. In terms of incorporating the cake into our diet, it was a straight swap in. It's been really simple and has gone really well. Now we've come into late summer, cows have started calving and early signs of using the cake are really promising. Our journey to going soya-free has been going really well. Moving forward through the next 12 months, we aim to reduce soya even more in our TMR and hopefully end up completely soya-free.
So here at 𝗵𝗲𝗱 with the Marshall family, they started discussions with me back in the new year about moving to a soya-free or reduction in soya. And then as the spring went forward, ForFarmers launched the Footprint range, which timed perfectly with us starting to use it at turnout in the spring. We moved straight from Optimus 16 to the Footprint 105. This is a slight dip in the crude protein, but it was the same amount of TDP. We slightly reformulated the diet to balance, but saw no change at all. Chris is really pleased with the transition. Early calving cows that calved about a month ago have been peaking really nicely already, and it's looking really positive going into the winter. At the moment, Chris is feeding a small amount of soya in the TMR because he was reluctant to make too big a change too quickly. As we get to Christmas and most of the cows should be back in calve, the aim is to then reduce and take the soya totally out of the diet and feed no soya for the rest of the winter. The aim is that this will give Chris and the family the confidence to be able to then go into next autumn soya-free. So here at 𝗵𝗲𝗱 with Chris and the Marshall family, the transition's worked really well. I've also got several other customers who've moved on to the Footprint diet over the summer. Some are all year round calving, some are spring, some are autumn. We've had no issues at all. It's all transitioned well and they all seem to be successful going forward. So the dairy industry in general is looking to become more sustainable and looking at ways of reducing soya use and looking to make the milk a more sustainable, future-proof product. That's why it's great that ForFarmers have got the Footprint range, which is a non-soya cake formulated to TDP, which allows us to reduce the crude protein of the overall diet, saving the farmer money and being more cost-effective. Over the summer, we've also launched the blends range, which is a Footprint blends and intermix range, which has then again allowed us to have more options to be soya-free going into the winter.